All right, let's dive into something that's, well, it's a little counterintuitive. We're going to talk about the one thing we all look for in leaders and experts: confidence. But what if I told you that very thing might actually be a trap? We're about to explore why our brains are so easily tricked by the illusion of certainty and, how that really shapes the world we live in.
So, let me ask you something. Just think about it for a second. When you're scrolling through your feed, who really grabs your attention? The person who's carefully explaining all the nuances, or the one with that simple, bold, totally unshakable answer? Come on, be honest. Because that gut feeling you have, that's the key to everything we're about to unpack.
All right, so let's get right into it. The confidence trap. And look, it's super important to get this up front. This isn't some personal flaw. It's not something wrong with you. It's just how our brains are built. We are fundamentally hardwired with this powerful automatic instinct to trust people who seem absolutely sure of themselves.
And if you think about it from an evolutionary standpoint, it totally makes sense, right? I mean, in a crisis, you don't want someone going, let's consider the options. No, you want the person who just yells, "This way, now!" So, our brain made this little shortcut. Confident equals competent. It's fast, it's efficient. But, and this is a big but, it can be dangerously flawed. Now, this is where things start to get really interesting. How does that ancient brain hack hold up today, with all our data and analysis? Well, it turns out not so great. What modern science is showing us is that this isn't just a small mistake. We're talking about a massive cognitive illusion. And the crazy part? We all fall for it. So let's just ask the question straight up. What if that connection our brain automatically makes, confidence equals smarts, certainty equals accuracy, what if it's just broken, completely busted? What if we've been measuring the wrong thing this entire time?
And yeah, that's the big reveal. When you take human bias out of the equation, when you let something like an AI just analyze raw data and language patterns, something pretty startling pops out. There's just no real link. No consistent statistical connection between how confident someone sounds and how right they actually are. It turns out we're all basically falling for the same magic trick.
Okay, so if it's an illusion, why does it work so well on us? I mean, why do we keep falling for it, even when we maybe should know better? That's what we're going to dig into next, the specific psychology behind why we get fooled.
Now, this is the part where things might get a little uncomfortable. Because it's really easy to point fingers, right? To blame those loud influencers or those overconfident leaders. But the hard truth, this is on us too. We're the audience. We're the ones who give them the clicks, the views, the trust. We're rewarding the very thing that's fooling us. And here's the psychological breakdown. Think about it. The confident person, they're usually loud. Their message is simple. The delivery is fast. It's just easy for our brains to grab onto. But the calm expert? Their message is nuanced, it's complex, it's slower. It takes actual mental work to understand. And our brains, being the wonderfully efficient and lazy things they are, will almost always pick the easy route.
So this isn't just some fun little psychology fact, There's a real price to pay for always choosing certainty. This one little bias, it dramatically shapes our entire information landscape. And the consequences, well, they're pretty huge for every single one of us. And here's why. Certainty just feels good. It feels decisive. It's easy to follow. A simple, confident statement is incredibly easy to share. A quick retweet, a quick forward. But real evidence, it's messy. It often feels hesitant. It's full of, well, it depends, and we need more data. It makes you think. And because of that, evidence just moves so much slower. It's like a turtle in a race against a rabbit. So what's the end result of all this? Well, you get a world where the loudest voices just win. The actual experts, the calm, thoughtful ones, they get completely drowned out or just ignored. And ultimately, in that battle for your attention, a simple, confident statement often beats a complex piece of evidence.
Okay, so we see the trap, we get the consequences. That brings us to the big one, the most important part of all this. Who do you actually trust? And more importantly, how can we use what we now know to escape the trap? Well, it all starts with really letting this sink in. We're measuring intelligence all wrong. We need a fundamental shift in how we evaluate information. We have to actively, consciously stop ourselves from using confidence as that go-to shortcut for competence. Because we now know, from the data, that it's just a broken compass. If you take one thing away from all of this, please let it be this. The real challenge for all of us is to retrain our own brains
It's about learning to value the depth and the nuance of what's actually being said, way more than the confidence and the charisma of how it's being said. It means we have to actually go looking for that quiet expert, even when the loud influencer is way more entertaining.
So I'm going to leave you with a question. Now that you know the trap is there, now that you can see it for what it is, this cognitive illusion that affects all of us, who will you choose to give your attention to tomorrow? Because your answer doesn't just change what you believe, it could actually change the kind of information that gets amplified in our world.